Hola, this is the breakfast burrito from the Blue Iguana Cantina on the Carnival cruise ships. We want to welcome you to the Carnival Cruising Podcastaways podcast.
Oh, God.
It's such a good time. Your hosts are Reese Grimshire, that funny one, Trevor Shelby, and some other guys. Grab your life jackets and get ready for a journey of hijinks, rigmarole, and all kinds of fun. Thank you for listening and enjoy the show.
Oh, well, I guess I'm not even important enough for a name. Wow.
That was a fantastic opening.
That was an awful opening. That opening should be scrapped.
I love it. I love it.
Gary.
How would you even know if that came from our good friend Gare Bear over there?
Because the only person who would dare do that is Gary.
Oh, as I have a parade of animals go through my room. Welcome, everybody, to Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. That was our fantastic new opening. Now, if you
we're not using that ever again.
Go on to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Carnival Cruising Podcastaways, and vote which opening is the best, the OG, the new one, or this one. And so, yeah, let us know. And
definitely not this one.
Yeah. We really want to know.
I wasn't even introduced. I was saying they called me some other guy.
They kind of did that on Gilligan's Island, remember? The original theme. There was like, and the rest here on Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan was mentioned in the song.
Well, yeah, but you're like the professor. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not. I've been on more episodes than you.
You have. Oh, it's really funny. Well, the OGs are here this week. I got over that chlamydia, and I guess Reese now caught it. I don't know.
I don't want to know.
I don't know how. I visited him earlier.
You guys are roomies on the FRGC.
Yeah. Well, it was weird because I went and visited him earlier. He was fine. He's not out sick, so don't think that he's dying or anything. But he's got some other things going on. He couldn't make it to today's show. We wish him all the best. Hopefully everything's all right. I did visit him earlier. We made some big advancements. We got him signed up for his Carnival account, got him his official blue card number, and it's like a ridiculous, long VIFP number. You know,
so is ours.
So, yeah, but his is like a lot longer. So, I don't know. It's funny.
You make it sound like ours is like one.
It's not. But Megan has her original number, her VIFP number. And it starts with several zeros. Mine's like 9. starts
Mine
with a
starts
9.
with several zeros too.
Oh, does it? Well, maybe she just got the luck of the draw. Well, we got a fantastic, well put together show for you guys today.
Don't make them think that they're getting into something good.
Yeah, they are getting something good. They're getting a lot of good information out of us today. We've got some topics of some things that maybe you don't think about when you're going and visiting these tropical isles that you may be going to, or other isles, I guess. Maybe not always tropical, but maybe things you don't think about researching. We're going to go over some of that. We got some cruise news, and we also fantastically have a very cool John thing as well.
Hold on a second. Hold up. You still didn't introduce me.
Yeah. Well, everybody knows who you are.
You introduced yourself, and you usually say, And joining me as always is...
Well, we already had an introduction. I don't feel like we need another.
I wasn't introduced in the introduction.
Oh, and Thomas Kennedy!
It's lost its luster now.
Kennedy! Oh,
yeah,
wow.
just call me Mr. Kennedy. Yep.
Yes, Mr. Kennedy. I don't know what to tell you, man. So
this is all about hating on me today, isn't it?
it kind of is. Wait till we get to the closing song.
Oh, good Lord.
That's really funny. But anyways, should I have done it like this? Mr. Kennedy!
A little bit better, yeah.
A little better.
A little better.
Before we get started today, we have a cult member, a devoted cult member out on a cruise right now. Miss Jenny is just enjoying her cruise right now. She got on the cruise right away. She ran over and she picked up a guy's burger. And she said, hey, knows that faster to the fun is a money grab. She goes, but not all of us are platinum and, get all those awesome platinum perks. And so she decided that was worth the money. She went and got it. And so she was one of the first people to have a guy's burger on that cruise. And I think that deserves a round of applause if I could find it. Let's just do that. So.
Wait, what did they say to John Hield? Don't make me come over there and fight you. I'll fight you.
Oh, what we got, Mr. Kennedy?
Well, so this comes up quite a bit on his page, but this is how we're going to bring it into the show. All
okay.
Right, so the commenter M, as John puts him, some of your comedians think adult means all of the material has to be raunchy, vulgar, and consistently over the limit. Most are completely unfunny when they are doing the adults show. Although, to be fair, the last comic I saw on The Dream at the family show was terrible when she did the late night show. Does there need to be an adult show? The HBO stand-up era is over. Just saying, family cruise lines should equal family shows only. I had my 20-year-old daughter with us. It was embarrassing to the core. Please provide only family-positioned comedy shows. Well, for one thing, you obviously don't have like Amazon or Netflix because the HBO era comedy shows that she speaks of have just moved over there.
Yeah.
And they're really popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know, like sometimes you find like some of those Netflix ones, like some of them aren't like super raunchy, but like there's some of them that you're just like, that's really, wow, you went there. So, I don't know. Like, I think it really kind of comes down to your personal preference. But if you know that, like an adult show is going to have adult themes, then, don't go. Go to the PG ones.
Yeah, well, I mean, she even complained about the PG one in that, saying it wasn't the one that she went to wasn't funny. But there comes if you're embarrassed for your 20-year-old daughter to go to a adult themed show with you, then that's a personal problem.
Yeah,
because I guarantee you, if your daughter's 20 years old and she's in college or she's not in college and has a job, she's she's witnessed and experienced far worse than what they're saying.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Yeah. Oh, and like comedy's a preference. So I've been to plenty of comedy shows on cruise ships that I just did not like.
Oh yeah.
And like the comedian I didn't click with, and it just didn't work. And so
there was a
fine.
comedy show I went here in Tulsa where the headliner bombed. Like, he was getting no laughs, and he was doing a recording.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah,
that sucks.
I mean, it was to the point that he was like, "Come on, guys, what's going on? I'm recording this." I'm like, well, you're kind of a Dave Chappelle wannabe that's telling unfunny jokes.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
it's like, to my point there is, it's like not every comic is to everyone's style. So, there was on not my last cruise, but the cruise before that, there was a guy that was a very 80s style comic, and I didn't find him that funny, but it was kind of humorous. That
kind of funny to me that you wouldn't find it funny, me, is your most favorite comic is very much an 80s comic.
Well, yeah, but I think that it was his style, though, like the way he did it, and it reminded me of a bad 80s routine. But what was funny was Tyler, who, was at the time like 19. He loved it. He went to the dude's every show. So he rewatched the shows. He loved it so much. And they weren't that funny to me. But like, that's hilarious to some people. And just because it's like we live in this era of like, I don't like this, so make it go away. And so I don't agree with it. Well, and not just canceling. It's just like, this is not cool. Make this go away. This isn't canceling. This person, he may be vulgar or raunchy, but he's not doing anything wrong. But it's like, if that's not your preference, then this person just kind of wants this just to completely go away. And one of the best shows I've been on a Carnival cruise was the raunchiest show I've ever been to.
Oh yeah,
and
mine too.
It was a great comedian, and he worked the crowd perfectly. And we were all rooting for this dude, this like 20-year-old kid that was in the show, to get laid with like a 60-year-old woman. And they were like actively trying to set him up, and it was so funny. The kid was like excited. And the lady was like, "Come on." It was so funny. Oh, but I mean, like those kind of shows, it was like the whole crowd was dying. Yeah. And so you can't tell me that a raunchy show isn't popular when I sat and watched one recently, and it was the greatest show I've seen on a Carnival ship. Yeah. So
there was one comedian, man, half of his show was about his vasectomy. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
So,
but anyways, it is what it is. People are going to demand one thing or another. That's almost reminds me of our nightclub kid. So it's kind of along the same wavelength. I think that's his mom. His mom is now posting.
So the 20-year-old daughter is the one who posted.
It's probably him.
Wow.
I don't know. Anyways.
But, I mean, comedy is what it is. If it makes you laugh, it makes you laugh. If it doesn't, find another comedian.
Yeah, exactly. So not every show is for everyone. So
I have
perfect
another
example, our show.
Yeah, exactly.
What was the other thing that John...
The other thing wasn't really It was actually a question.
Okay.
It was just about, can we bring ceiling fans? And they posted a picture of a ceiling fan that I guess you can get one of those magnet hooks and hook it to the ceiling. It's a travel ceiling fan. I didn't know these existed.
Yeah, I didn't either. Not until I saw the post. I think, and the one that I saw the original post. So somebody was bragging, because this was weeks ago. Somebody was bragging about having a ceiling fan in their room, and they found the actual ceiling fan like on Amazon, and they put it up there with one of those big magnets, and just propped it up there. And that is like one thing I've actively talked to Megan about, was what would make these rooms perfect would be a ceiling fan. I mean, they'd have to be a few inches taller, but the ceiling.
Well, I mean, since they are just hung up there with a hook, you can just turn it off and take it down or whatever. Yeah. Of course, if you brought one, you'd have to hide it from a housekeeping because of the attendant is supposed to take them to compensate them.
Yeah. Well, and so what was John's response to that?
It was an emphatic no, and if they're found in the room attendant is supposed to remove them. You can't have you can have a small box fan or a small oscillating fan that'll fit in your carry-on, and there are requirements for that on the Carnival website. I don't know them off the top of my head, so I'm not going to say what those are, but. Yeah, you can have a small box fan as long as it's in within the guidelines and it fits in your carry-on, because you can't put it in your checked luggage.
A small box fan, some bungee cords, and some of those hooks. I think I can make a ceiling fan. I could do it. Oklahoma ingenuity. I could make it happen. Give me some baling and wire. I'll make this work.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. But, okay, so ceiling fans, like the whole fan thing is interesting to me, because there are some rooms that I've been in that just feel like they are way too hot. Not enough air movement, all that stuff. And I absolutely love having a fan. Now, since they've said that the room attendants will no longer be providing fans, I've actually had no problem asking for a fan and providing an extra tip for said fan. So I'm just saying, it doesn't hurt to ask if you didn't bring one. So the worst thing they could say is no. You know what I mean? So,
no, or get off the ship. Well,
no one's going to tell you get off the ship when you ask for a fan. Now, if you threw a fit because you didn't get a fan, then I can understand. Yeah. Which is interesting that I talk about throwing a fit, because did you know, Mr. Kenny, that a YouTuber, a very, very famous YouTuber, is actually a part of our Carnival Cruising Podcastaways group? Were you aware of this?
I was aware of this. Yes, I was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They are
husband and wife
fans of the show, I guess we could say. So Sal and Debbie are actually a part of our cruise group. It's wonderful to have them on. It's, very exciting to have somebody with a lot of recognition actually on here. So thank you guys for listening.
OG YouTuber as well.
Yeah, they're like OG YouTubers, kind of like, inspiration to kind of like for a lot of people to do what they're doing with YouTube and all that. Their destinations page, their YouTube page is actually kind of like got a lot of people along that road, basically. So if you ever want to check them out, it's youtube.com/YouTube destinations. And they have all kinds of reviews and news and all kinds of stuff all about Carnival. And so Sal and Debbie, and they actually run one of the most popular Facebook groups out there. So,
Oh, yeah.
So it's really cool. Like seeing Sal's been posting some stuff in our group, really helps out with us. So thank you, Sal, for doing that. We will return the favor, though, just so you know.
We have been
let your
known
moderators know.
We have been known to crash some lives.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
just know.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. So, anyways, so it's kind of cool seeing Sal on there. I kind of nerded out when he started posting. So, Sal posted this video, and it was actually all about, I guess, the Christine Duffy actually went on. She made a video that was all about basically, you know, ahead of spring break and everything else, you know, people kind of, you know, behave on Carnival ships. These are the rules.
They added rules. They added rules.
So added rules, you know. I think it's kind of interesting that they did this, and they did it in this way. It was kind of a infomercial feel to it. So, I don't know. Have you watched it?
Yeah, I've watched it, and I've seen actual photos of the signs that are out on the Lido deck and everything. And so, I mean, this is legit.
Yeah. So there are increased security. Colleen, actually, from the group, actually had said something about this. She said last month on the Spirit, there was definitely increased security. Curfew was enforced, and dogs were present at every time we got off and on the ship. It was a bit eerie at first, but we didn't know why, but definitely appreciate the lengths they are going to. So
yeah, there was one lady in one of the other groups that I'm in saying that they were, you know, they did all the embarkation stuff. They did the embarkation pictures, and then right before they got on the gangplank to get on the ship, they had people line up, and they got sniffed, and then they let them go. If they, and I was like,
who's sniffing them?
I hope it's a dog. You know, you know, it
John
also
Hill's
makes
up
you
there. Oh my god, dude! Yeah, there's dogs sniffing, not crew members.
I was like, I was talking to another friend of mine. I was like, you know, if someone is, you know, trying to sneak on marijuana, which is mainly what they're looking for, you know, they better hope that Carnival got some retired drug dogs with some bad sniffers, you know, because otherwise, you know, they're going to get kicked off and fined.
Yeah. And, you know, I wish I could say that it was not an issue, but my last few cruises, man, you'd walk up and down some of the halls, and it is just, you can smell marijuana. Just people just openly smoking. I don't have an issue with it. But, like, the people living right next to them, they definitely have an issue. So, especially if they don't partake or anything like that. So, that annoys people. I don't have any issue with gummies or anything like that. I have an issue when you're out on your balcony doing that kind of stuff, though.
Which they're not supposed to be smoking on the balcony anyway. You know,
yeah,
that's
regardless.
But people have to realize that, you know, it's not legal in every state, and this is an international company, so they have to follow international law, or national federal law, and not you know, state by state. So
yeah, and I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, like, you know, if things do change and it's federally accepted. I have no issue with people going to the smoking section to smoke anything. I don't care.
I have issues with non-smokers walking through the smoking side of the upper deck of the Lido, where they're supposed to be smoking.
Yeah.
And coughing and waving their hands. Well, go across to the other side. That's where the non-smokers are.
I'm guilty of doing that, though. Going, oh, man, I chose the wrong direction. Oh man, wrong side of the ship.
Well, and then I've actually had someone like sit down in the smoking area and like waving their hands. You mind putting that out? Well, no, this is the smoking area.
I have some cruise news. If you'd like to talk about some of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it like cruise news?
Cruise news. Yeah.
Or is it a different type of cruise news?
It's actually cruise news. This was interesting because I didn't know this happened, and so you probably already know this. I don't think you guys covered this on the last show, but I just thought it was funny, and so I had Madison me up a little thing here. But anyways, so did you know that Valentine's Day was made a little extra special with Carnival Cruise Line's largest ever vow renewal at sea?
No,
so
I did not.
They had Shaquille O'Neal as the chief fun officer. He took charge and virtually officiated the proclamations of love. So it says this was the highest turnout that they had for it, but I don't think they have the article that we had didn't have the official number, but it beat out the previous number of 2,000 couples. So over 2,000 couples participated in this. That was pre-pandemic, and so it's kind of cool seeing that they were able to do this. This event took place with ships docked in Nassau, Cozumel, Grand Turk, Saint Martin, and some others, and they were able to celebrate love like no other. So that's what it says. I don't know. Thank you, Madison.
Madison is sappy.
Yeah, she is.
Still believes in love and all that crap.
Yeah. Oh, but anyway, so I just thought that was great. I think that doing things like that is actually kind of like some of the things I like about Carnival, doing like random little bits of things. And I love that they involve Shaquille O'Neal in this. So, I mean, who better to do it?
Who wouldn't want to have Shaquille O'Neal officiate your your vow renewals? Yeah. You don't need to be, an ordained minister or anything to do that. Just have someone up there. But of course, he needs to. If you wanted to marry you, you'd have to have him, ordained. Mm-hmm. I could see him as a Dudas priest.
Yeah. It's not hard to be ordained. Yeah. So I'm ordained. So I mean,
I've been saying I was going to be ordained, but I can't figure out which online church I want to be ordained in. Do I want to be ordained as a Dudas priest? Do I want to become a Jedi priest? Do I want to?
Yeah. I'm a Pastafarian, so I like the pirate lore that goes along with it. So it made
the
sense.
Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. Okay.
Yep. So there is.
I haven't heard that one in a while.
Yeah. So I actually have a card. It's registered here with the state of Oklahoma, and so if anybody needs married, hit me up. I'll do it.
So that's another side project you have that we.
Yeah, exactly. So one thing that I wanted to do today, and this was kind of a last minute thing, but I think that this is going to be kind of fun. So we have some prizes that we can hand out. And these prizes, don't get your hopes up for like something special. These are interesting prizes, and I'll hand out as many or as little as I wish and for this. So we're going to have a question, and this may take a little bit of research for our listeners.
And this is all Trevor. So
Yes. Yeah, this is all me doing this. So you win a very unspecial prize. So this contest has no monetary value. I don't know what kind of disclaimer I need to put on this. In order to give your answer, you need to go on over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. Follow us. And there's also a group. You need to find the group, and that's where you're going to post your answer. And first person to make a post. I'm not even going to post it because someone that doesn't listen could end up posting and saying the answer once I make the post. So go on there, make a post with the answer. Say, hey, I got the first answer. And hop on over and let us know what it is, and you'll win a prize. I'll post it in there so everybody be super jealous of your prize. So the question is for Carnival Cruising Podcastaways, who was our first guest? That question again is, who was our first guest?
And it's not who you think it is.
Yeah. I'm not sure who you're thinking. And if you're thinking the right person, then you might be thinking it. We don't know. Depends. This one, whenever Mr. Kinney actually came up with this one, I had to think about it for a second because I had an answer in my head and that was not correct. So anyways, go on there. Like I said, go on to our Facebook page. Let us know who was our first guest. You'll win a prize. And if you are the first one, or maybe the second one, I don't know. It depends on how generous I am. Just post it on there. You might get a prize. So I don't know. We'll see. And this is an unsponsored prize. It is something, a product, you may be excited about it and you may be like, what the heck? I didn't want this. So, but just know it's not sponsored. They're not giving us money, but maybe they should if they find out that this went so well. So who knows? Anyways, Mr. Kennedy, did you know we have a main topic for this week's episode?
We do, because we've already been recording for 50 minutes and we're just now getting to it.
Yeah, we're just now getting to it.
Sweet. What is that? What is that
okay.
topic?
So, this is exciting. So, what are the things that you don't think about when you're going on a cruise? Like when you're going to visit an island, say Cozumel or Progresso, or let's say the Bahamas. What are some things that maybe you should think about before you go? Now, we're going to kind of go over a few things that maybe that aren't overly common. And kind of gives everybody some tips and tricks there. So, do you want to start us off, or do you want me to go?
Go for it.
Okay. So my first one would be, we see this currently with our Facebook group that we're in right now. Everybody wants to get a rental car for Aruba. And there aren't a whole lot of rental cars to go around. Now, I don't know. I've never been to Aruba, so I can't tell you how important it is to have a rental car or not to have a rental car. But it sounds like it's an important thing, and maybe I should have done my research and got me a damn rental car. So, and I don't have one. So
I don't either.
Maybe if you're listening and you're on this cruise and you got one and you got a seat that's available and you don't mind me riding for free, I will totally go with you wherever you're going.
So you're just gonna leave your
roommate
and podcast partners, Huh?
Yeah, I'll go on an adventure. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So
wow.
If there's two seats, maybe me and your mom will go. So there you go. I don't want her walking around everywhere. Anyways, so yeah. Anyways, look into those kinds of things, like rental cars. Like, okay, so for instance, we've gotten rental cars in Key West.
Yeah, we did.
And
yeah.
it was kind of a mixed bag. I'm kind of like, was it really worth it? I don't think it was, but
it was for me, especially the first time.
Yeah,
the first time was after knee surgery. So.
Yeah, I think that was the main reason we got it. But I remember what a pain it was to find parking anywhere.
It wasn't a pain the first time. It was a pain the second time we went there and we rented a vehicle because we ended up like 3 blocks away from Hemingway's house, and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I'm probably getting my times mixed up, but that's what I remember the most is our parking disaster.
Yeah, where we couldn't find parking. Yeah, that was the second time. Yeah,
yeah.
But there's another place in Key West now that we've got to visit. That just came. That just one of the presidents has a home there that looks pretty interesting. It's a small museum too.
Cool.
So it's not something that a lot of people know about, and I just happened to fall upon it on YouTube. So,
wow. So you did some research. Maybe
go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Maybe us content creators aren't as bad as you think.
Maybe. Unless never mind.
Drop the beef.
Drop the beef. Anyways, yeah, no, that's a great idea. Go to YouTube, do some research. Find out where you're going and find out what's around there. So,
I've also just learned that in Curacao, there's a place called the Locks of Love exhibit statue where people, write the dates that they were there, or the dates of their loved ones or something like that, and they put it on a padlock and they lock it on on one of several of these hearts. Yeah. And so that's kind of cool to do. You might want to, if that's something that you want to do, you make sure you go and bring locks, padlocks.
Exactly. Don't wait to go there, because if it's like that bridge in Paris, like they got locks out there and they're really expensive.
Yeah.
And they hate people doing it. That bridge is going to fall into the river. But
I think they built a new one beside it, so they
I think so. I think they did something trying to deter people, and I think it's quite comical to me. But it is what it is. I'd get one of those big, gigantic locks and put it on there.
Of course you would. Probably wouldn't even fit through the chain link.
Probably wouldn't. Oh, it's gonna be really funny. But yeah, no, that's really cool. And I think one of the advantages we have as this podcast and kind of being content creators is that we find while we do research for the show or for other stuff that we're doing, we end up finding these other things, like we get these contacts, like when we met Charlie. And then you went. I
met Charlie.
Yeah, I'm just saying we met Charlie. We met him.
We interviewed him. Yeah,
we interviewed him.
I have a picture with Charlie.
Yes. But what I'm saying is like when we met him, and then you went to actual usage of his business, and yeah, that's really cool. And so that's like, as a content creator, that's really neat that we were able to kind of make that connection. And, get to know somebody like that. So
yeah, which he was a really good guy.
Yeah.
It was a family business. So, everyone that works for him is family, I believe. Something that you don't think of beforehand, going, especially if you're a first time cruiser, is like your travel to and from the port, Are you Are you gonna, go, especially if you stay overnight, which Hopefully you are if you're more than 4 hours to drive away. You know, just saying. Are you gonna drive? Are you gonna fly? If you drive, do you find does your hotel allow you to keep it there, or do you have to pay for separate parking? You know, if you flew in, how are you going to get from the airport to the hotel, and and then from the hotel to the terminal? So you got to start factoring in extra costs for if you rent a car, or if you want to take one of the transfers or an Uber or Lyft.
Yeah.
So you want you want to take these into factor. That way you can start saving more money, or budgeting that money into your vacation fund.
Yeah. A lot of these places like New Orleans has a premium fee. If you're going to take a taxi or an Uber going into the city, then it's like a flat fee no matter where you go. But it is like, it's kind of pricey. And so you might want to think about the what that's going to end up costing you. You could also think of that same way as like when you go to Cozumel. There is that price list of what it costs to take a taxi to certain destinations that are nearby. And so taxi or a bus, or you can just you can get, all kinds of stuff, and what those individual costs are. And a lot of times, you're looking at like a round trip cost. So you're paying your taxi driver typically on your way back, not like on the way there. And so you're kind of figuring it out, you know what I mean? With what you're doing. And so you might want to kind of know that before you get there for the first time, that like, hey, I want to go to X beach, but to get there, it's going to be a 10-minute drive. What is that going to cost me? So you might look up taxi fares, Cozumel cruising kind of stuff. And there's a lot of people that have taken pictures of the sign itself. And I've done it every time I've gone in there. And just to remind myself later on, well, it would cost this like a year ago, so it's not too bad. So the last time, this is kind of funny, I went to the Parkers on the Go. I went to one of their videos. Then they actually had videoed the sign.
Yeah, I remember that.
As part of one of their vlogs. And
yeah, I remember
I just
that
remembered. So, and I'd saved a bunch of their vlog stuff for when I went on that cruise. And so I'd actually went back, watched that part, and was like, I paused it and I was like, oh, okay, that's what it cost like a month ago. The prices were the same. So not too bad.
And speaking of Cozumel, one thing that you may not, think of, especially since it's so new, if you're a smoker, you might want to figure out how far you're willing to go into the city, and that way you can come back and get back on the ship, because there's no smoking on the island in public anymore. Yeah. So, and you can be arrested for up to 36 hours if you do smoke and get caught smoking.
That's not fun.
No.
Yeah, I mean, local laws and customs and all that stuff is really important to look into wherever you're going. I think it's the Bahamas, is it, that you can't wear camo? Or is it... Yeah, I think it's the Bahamas. One of the islands you can't wear camo.
I think it's Jamaica.
Is it Jamaica? There may be more than one, even. I don't know. I just remember it being an issue for some people because they were trying to wear camo. And it was like, turn around, go back, and change your clothes. And so, and the reason I say the Bahamas is because that's where I was because this was brought up recently. We were told not to wear camo. And I'm pretty sure it was the Bahamas. Or one of the stops. I don't know. Maybe Freeport or something. But it would I look into those things because there are kind of odd laws sometimes like that. So definitely check that out as well.
Yeah, it's like just check out anything and everything about your cruise. Like, going to Miami in May, I'm already, because we're driving, I'm already scoping out, what does the terminal traffic look like? Because you go into Galveston and it's, it's basically just a main street, and you find the terminal, unless you're going to Royals, which is down the road now.
Yeah,
but it isn't anything, compared to Miami. And I'm like watching this, I'm like, holy crap! There's going to be a lot of traffic because there's I believe 10 ships that can port there at a time.
Yeah,
and I know the day we leave, there's 8 in port that they're leaving. So that's 80% of the cruise terminal area that's going to be, so there's going to be a lot of traffic. I'm like, okay, yeah, this could be interesting.
Very.
Okay. So, and we have decided that we're actually going to use port parking this year instead of trying to find something, because I've only found one off-site parking review, and they weren't happy about it. So
yeah. I'm all for port parking. We've never been to Miami, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see how that goes. I mean, you had mentioned like getting to the cruise is pretty important. How you're getting there is one thing that we've done some research on, and also getting off the cruise. Think about when you're planning your flights and stuff like that. What is it that you're going to do to get to the airport, or get what you're doing? And so a lot of people, I know Carnival's kind of rule of thumb is don't book a flight before 1 p.m. Yeah, and so
there's always these people in the cruise groups. They're like, I'm booking an 11 a.m. flight. Is that good?
No,
you're pushing it.
Yeah, and 9 times out of 10 people will make it. But man, that had to be like a nail biting, like took a year off my life experience.
Yeah, that's if that's if they don't get delayed because of fog or something like that.
Yeah, which could happen. So
the fact that it's like a 35-40 minute drive from the terminal to the airport in Miami anyway. So
yeah. So well. Anyways, I think we just hit that 1 hour mark. I think we've definitely
we haven't recorded one this long in a while.
Yeah, we haven't. Hopefully, we brought the funny.
Well,
without the
we
funny
got rid of the dead weight this week.
Oh yeah, did we?
Oh, people are going to write because of that comment. Oh my god.
Definitely jump on over. I don't know if you've noticed, but we have a Facebook page. I don't know if I mentioned it before. Do? Yeah, it's over there.
I think you've mentioned a few times today.
Yeah. Well, one more time won't hurt. Facebook.com/Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. We got a group as well. Join it. That's where all the fun happens. Definitely go on there today. And as you're listening to this, jump on and give us the answer to that quiz question as well. So if you haven't done it already, someone might be beating you right now. You better hurry. Anyways, know that you are that. Just know you are unique, you are special, and you are loved.
And remember, anything that happens on the ship stays on YouTube. Bye. Save the foosball table. What?
See ya.
Well, there you have it. Another episode has come to an end. This is the 12-hour French toast speaking for the Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. We hope that you had a good time, because we sure did. The only thing better than this podcast is the breakfast burrito from the Blue Iguana Cantina. Until next week, au revoir.
Oh, I love it.
Good Lord.
Thank you, Gary.
Oh my God.
It's so
Gary.